Folks will ask, well, what do you do for a living? And I'll answer GPS. And the response I typically get back is, GPS, it's magic. And in some ways it is. GPS started in about 1973. The first test satellites were launched in about 78, but it wasn't until 1993 that they had a full constellation of 24 satellites. With that full constellation, they needed a better way to do testing.
So back in the late 1990s, Draper got involved and essentially had to start up our test and verification support of the GPS constellation from scratch, which is pretty cool if you think about it. This was not a program that a prior team inherited. They had to start a lot of this from square one.
We built up the facility known as the TSTS. It was located in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and that work developed into collecting and processing data for each and every test on the ground and eventually on orbit for the entire GPS system. When GPS was devised, it was devised as a military system. The original specifications called it the GPS weapons system. As time went on, folks realized the utility of it.
If we lost the ability to use GPS for even 24 hours, the impacts would be significant, if not catastrophic. The ability to pay for things with a credit card in the financial transaction world. The ability for power grids to communicate as they need to keep everybody's lights on. Communication networks and cell phone networks and cell towers, not to mention from a military perspective. So the impacts would be felt literally across the spectrum of everyday life.
Draper has been involved for well over 30 years in a very key aspect of ensuring the forward success of not only the existing constellation, but moving forward into the future.
The GPS Test Asset Program is a team effort in order to accomplish everything that needs to be done. Our key teammates are counterparts at MITRE, and then our prime subcontractor, SRI. So between those teammates and their respective assets, along with what Draper has, gives us some geographically dispersed locations that also enable a better test footprint.
Personally, it's just great to think of the fact that my team has a daily impact on not just the United States, not just the military, not just the civilians, but the world. Everyone that uses a GPS receiver takes advantage of the work that we do. You look back to the technology that was available then compared to now over the span of 30 years and how far things have progressed across the spectrum. I would say it's very impressive that they were able to do that back in 1995, but this is also part of the larger company that helped put a man on the moon back in the late 60s. So I would say it was that history and that legacy that goes back decades before even our GPS involvement, born out of these efforts such as the Apollo days, that gave us confidence that Draper is more than capable of doing this back then, now, and on into the future.